years ago. Uh, don't get carried away. They won't let you come next week either. So. I'm doing my program. I'm doing my program in here and on when I get home. Yeah, y'all got to spread the word to the men. If the men talk to the girls, then half the group don't get to come. You wired up? No. Go get your wire, man. Well, give them the handheld then. Yeah, do something. Huh? Might be all we getting, man. Hey, that's what we're gonna talk about today, man. Well, I was just trying to emphasize that. Look, if y'all be talking to each other, you know you're not supposed to be. Everybody's gonna get punished, man. So it's almost like a self-discipline.
Hey, y'all, happy New Year.
Yeah, how you doing,
How's it going?
How are you?
Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah.
Excellent, wonderful.
We
And then there were three. Well, and it's how serious you take your program. Okay.
I told Pam to check. My vote.
You know other 66 dollars of yours into one.
You had a decisive victory, wasn't you?
Yes.
There's now.
Yeah, I mean, so that's probably important.
That's all.
And the rest of
Then the gates open.
Hey, so everybody's serious? Like, it's gonna be a
All right, listen up. Listen up.
So I just tell y'all this. I'm here and I'm working on all day and we do what I gotta do. And then I go upstairs and I take folks with me. We take this week. I take the crown because like we want to make sure nobody falls into class. Nobody gets disconnected. Everybody has opportunity to do something different and be better. You can't walk through it. And every rule is a rule. There's no little rule when you don't have self-control. And so even that little thing that you think, we act something like not communicating with the opposite sex of people in the program. Like, you think there's nothing wrong with it until there's something wrong with it. All right? You sneak to do that, guess what else you sneak to do?
Yeah.
You don't have self-control to just do that and follow that simple rule. What about the life-threatening rules? You know what I'm saying? So like everything's for a reason. Because seriously, if you ain't centered and focused on yourself and God, anybody else is going to derail your plan. All right? They ain't come in here with you. Ain't nobody gonna be faithful with you on this walk, but your higher power. So that's who you're supposed to be putting your faith in, not somebody else who's struggling like you. I can do bad by myself. I don't need nobody pulling me down.
You got to know where your help coming from.
Come on.
Your help ain't coming from somebody that's lower than you are.
And I'm trying to tell you, don't make those connections. Because right now, at this point in your life, you don't need those connections. That is by itself, you by yourself, like that's what you need to be focused on you. What's right for you, decisions about you. I know everybody remember how to work with the heart, right? But that's what got some y'all. All right? Want something to make you feel good. Want something to make focus on what's important. You are the most important. You in here. You ain't praying to your higher power, Lord, keep me so today, just today. I'm gonna worry about tomorrow. But I'm not gonna worry because once you give it to God and pray on it, you're not supposed to worry about it. All right. But self, this is the time that I need y'all to be selfish. Focus on yourself. Don't put anybody in front of you but God. Leave the rest alone. All right? And for real, we do that and talk on that because it's important. I think too many people survive derailed because of somebody they thought they loved or somebody they loved them. Be selfish. Think about you. Think about the people that need you out there, that need you to get your life back on track. Don't get it up for nobody. All right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're on, buddy.
Hey, John, I want you to see this.
Uh-oh.
Hey, John, don't use that microphone. Actually, I'll mic you up.
You gonna make it.
Okay, man.
What we look?
I mean, this was the topic for the day.
The price
to pay for freedom from active addiction.
There you go.
What are we willing to sacrifice? You know what I'm saying? If we can't sacrifice, man, half an hour at a meeting, you know what I'm saying? Together, I mean, what can we sacrifice? You know? Because the thinking, my thinking about this thing was today, you know what I mean? Preparation for me, preparation. I prepare for this thing every day that I come here, you know, every week that I come here, you know what I mean? I do some preparation, you know, and so I'm thinking, man, you know, about y'all as a group, you know, the process of us coming in here is to make you use this, man. Is to make you concentrate a little bit, think a little bit, you know what I mean? About why I'm here. You know, what am I doing? You know, what we hear all the time is, man, about bad decisions. And I'm telling you, you know, that works, man. That works. Bad decisions. You know, when we were down east the other week, you know, and I told him, I said, man, when I come in here, this thing is a two-way street. It works both ways. I get a snapshot. Bad decision, bad decision, bad decision on that side, and bad decisions on that side as well. You know? Because that's my experience. Once I learned how to make better decisions, you know, my life started to change. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm still caught up in that 5 minutes of pleasure. You know what I'm saying? 10 minutes of pleasure. Short term. It ain't gonna get me nowhere long term. You know? Yeah. It ain't gonna get me nowhere long term. You know? And so that's one of the things, man, that we need to, when we are here, you know, what they said, man, you need to get your house in order. You need to get your house in order, you know? I'm talking to somebody today, and it's the same thing, man. We see people that got these beautiful homes, couples, they married, got a beautiful homes, and what we always say, man, we don't know what's going on inside that house, you know? Same thing about us, you know? You come in here, you get a beautiful body, we don't know what's going on inside their mind, what's going on inside their body. You know, that's why we talk about all the time, man, about trying to get in touch with yourself, you know? Now, I'm going to put myself in a position where I can no longer come to the program. I'm telling you, when my son was getting ready to go off to college, him and I sat down and had a talk, and I told him, man, don't fall in love for the first individual that wink at you. You know what I'm saying? Too many women at UVA. Don't fall in love for the first one that wink at you, because you don't know what her intentions are. You know? And he said, okay, I got you, Dad. You know? And that's how that worked, man. But I'm telling you, me and John been doing this for a long time. When we first started doing groups out at Pomorkie, I remember telling John, look, man, they was like, you see anything that need to change? I'm like, yeah, put the women with the women and put the men with the men, you know? And they said, well, you know, we got some women that can go in there with the men. And I was like, I don't know how that's going to work, man, you know? Because we are still emotionally immature. You know, we still emotionally immature. We got a whole lot of emotions and stuff in us, and we don't know what to do with them. You know? And then you can put us together with that. I thought the same thing based on my personal experiences about NA. I was like, man, this ain't gonna work, man. You know what I'm saying? And John will tell you, the majority of the time people used to leave McShin, I don't know about now, it was because of relationships. You know, you done got with somebody and y'all in love for 2-3 months. Y'all, boom, they gone running. Next thing you know, they done relapse. You know, they stand in a hotel, motel, or whatever, and can't afford it. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they're using and doing all kind of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And they back. You know, I mean, sometimes it ain't 2 or 3 months. You know. But anyway, in preparation today, man, I got a couple of questions that I wanted to ask everybody, and I wanted to kind of marinate. You know what I'm saying? And this is a twofold question because I ask myself on a daily basis. You know, and the question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sacrifice to change your life? What are you willing to sacrifice to stay clean? You know? And not only that, the twofold is for me and people like John. What are you willing to do to maintain being clean? What are you willing to do? You know? And again, when we started looking at bullshit in the eye, that shit don't get my juices flowing no more. You know? Don't get my juices flowing. Man, as I'm coming here, I pulls up in a Mercedes. 2023, yeah. In my wife's car, 2023. But I haven't forgot, man. I haven't forgot. When I first got here, 30-something years ago, I ain't have a car. I ain't have a driver's license. You know, and a lot of times people come in here and you see the end result. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then that's what I'm talking about how difficult things were. You know, I ain't had nothing. You know, man, me and John were talking today, man, I said, John, I like that sweater you got on, man, that sweatshirt you got on. He said, my wife bought it. You know, you know, and I said, well, man, it's good, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? So we still remember, man, how it was when we first got here. So it ain't nothing new when you leave here and go out here and don't have anything, ain't got nothing. That's how most of us started off. Henry ain't had nothing. You know, when he started off, man, majority of us didn't have anything. And they used to always say, man, we'll gladly refund that misery. You know what I mean? We'll gladly refund that embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? We'll gladly refund that shame and that guilt. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, man, when I look back at this thing, and I do this every year, I look back at this thing and, man, reflect back on it. Man, one of the things that I understand, man, that mess that they got out there in the street now, that's some powerful shit, man. That's some powerful shit, man. Including the alcohol. That's some powerful shit, man. You know? Never knew, man, that you had some shit like that could turn you upside down. You know, we done experimented with that shit, man. Or I'm going to do it different this time. I'm just going to get high on the weekend. I'm just going to get high. Well, I ain't getting high with them no more. I'm going to get high with somebody else. You know? We're going to do that. That's how it's going to work. You know what I mean? And I mean, man, so many have failed with that shit, man. This is why we come in here, man, and talk about a program. You got to have a strong program, man. You got to have a powerful program to deal with that powerful shit out there, man. Man, you come in here and get a bullshit program, go out there and pick up some fentanyl. I'm telling you. Hey, you turned upside down, and you be wondering what happened. You know, I done seen it out my own eyes. Individuals come through a program, stay there for 6 months, go back out there, and whatever happens, I don't know, you know, they ain't paid the rent or whatever it is, and all of a sudden, using is the solution to the problem. Man, I know somebody right now, man, young lady right now, 2 young ladies right now, you know, man, they back to square one again. Back to square one. You know, Couple of them, man. Both of them, man. Got kids. You know what I'm saying? That's the part I talk about men being emotionally immature. You know? We don't get caught with the kids, having to take care of the kids and all that. That's why John and them, they did a thing, man. They got a thing for women with kids. You know what I'm saying? Because that's important, man. That's something that people missed out on. You know? Man, if you got kids, I know an individual the other day, man. They got a kid too, 15, 16 years old. You know? It was Christmas time. And the kid didn't respond like they wanted the kid to respond. You know? Because of what they've been doing. You know? For the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I was like, how you expect the kid to respond? You know what I'm saying? You know, like they told me, you lucky the child even speak to you. You know, but that's how broken and fractured a lot of us were when we got here. Same thing about me. And the piece that I told John too, my wife told me, man, early on in recovery, she said, Marshall, the difference between me and you, when I go shopping, I shop for me, you, and the kids. You go shopping, you just pick up something for yourself. You run in and get you some nice tennis shoes, you know, come right back out. Don't even think about the kids. You know what I'm saying? That's the emotional immaturity that I'm talking about. There's other people that live in the house besides you, you know? And, you know, your child, you know what I'm saying? You don't even think about them, you know? And when she told me that, I processed it for a day. And I said, you know what? She right. After that, every time I go to the store, man, I'm buying my son something. You know, him and I getting the stuff, man. We dressing alike. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting some Jordans. I'm gonna get him some Jordans, and all that. You know what I mean? But that's the thing that I tell you about the emotional immaturity, and then me, you know, not being all that. Me needing some help. You know what I'm saying? And I love that boy to death, man. I love that boy to death. I just had to learn how to be a father, you know, because I didn't know. You know, my wife taught me how to be a father, you know? Man, because when my mind won't clear for years and years and years, you know, man, I couldn't even tell you what I believed. What I believed in, I couldn't even tell you that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what my beliefs were. You know? I'm going any way the wind blow, you know? But I'm glad that I got that message, man, about the program. What this program is all about. You know? Every now and then when we do this thing, man, we do it a little different. You know what I'm saying? We do it a little different, you know? And we're going to do it a little different tonight. I got a couple of questions I'm going to throw out there. And I, you know, I ain't going to hit you with the element of surprise. I'm going to let you know what the questions are. So you can get a chance to let them marinate. You know what I'm saying? The first one would be, have you realized why you're here? Have you realized why are you here and how did you get here? You know, my own personal experience is that I always pointed the finger at somebody else. You know, yeah, it's because of the police. You know what I'm saying? I did a whole lot of things, man, got arrested, and I never did look at the use of the drugs. You know? So that's the first one. Why are we here? And then the next one is, man, what are we willing to sacrifice? What are we willing to sacrifice? I can remember crying out for some help. Man, somebody gonna help me tonight, man. Somebody gonna take me somewhere. I need to go somewhere. You know, I had recognized that I had hit a bottom. You know, somebody gonna help me. You know, thank God for the jails. Thank God for the jails, man. This is a bottom for some, not for all. you know? But man, we can be here and we can have a moment of clarity. I understand that concept today. I spend a lot of time with myself today doing some productive things, you know? I spend a lot of time today trying to learn about me, you know? Because I'm telling you, man, to give you a perfect example, right? The other day, I'm going to a memorial service. I got up, man, in time to be there on time. Didn't happen though. I mess around, I fumble around in the house, and then I look, I'm running late, you know? I jumps in my truck and I'm driving and I'm out there on Laburnum Avenue. And man, the traffic won't moving like I wanted the traffic to move. You know, I'm like, how dare this lady, who the hell is this old lady in front of me going all slow? And man, recovery kicked in. You know what I'm saying? Recovery kicked in. The question I asked after that, man, when do that selfishness, self-centeredness, when do that leave? Hey, I've been clean 35 going on 36 years, and there are still opportunities to come up for me where I'm self-centered. I want it to be all about me. I want people to drive like I think they ought to drive so that I can get where I'm trying to get on time. Now, if you've been in here long enough, you'd have heard me say, man, a lot of times, man, I love being early. 15, 20 minutes, half an hour early. So when I run into a situation like that, you know, I'm prepared for it. It don't bother me. Because I know, man, hey, look here, you know, real talk, man, when I get all nervous and flustered and stuff like that, I don't like me. I don't like me when I get like that. So what I try to do is to prevent that from happening. Whatever it is, I try to prevent that from happening. One thing you may have heard me say some time ago is, man, I don't get into debates and arguments with people no more. Man, when I was in the penitentiary, man, that was football game came on like it did this past Sunday. Can't wait till Monday so we can get up and argue about the game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dudes get the news. You had to fight over the sports section because everybody reading the sports section, trying to get the statistics and all the data and stuff to support their argument. You know what I'm saying? Stop doing that, man. Stop doing that. Because I understand. You can't change my mind, and I can't change your mind. You know what I'm saying? I waste my breath for a whole hour. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't never really come to no conclusion. Who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? What I realized today, man, is that everybody got an opinion. Everybody got an opinion. Does that mean your opinion? Does that mean that it's right? It don't. A lot of times, man, folks got an opinion and then they ain't got no facts to support it. You know? But they won't admit that they're wrong. So, you know, man, rather than get caught up in that, I zip it. You know? One thing, too, that I have learned about me is that, man, I learned how to mind my own business. I said that the other day. Mind my own business, you know? And what I used to think was, some time ago, you know, I mind my own business, but if you bring the gossip to me, I'll listen to it. You know? And then I had to take that a little further. Don't even bring the gossip to me. Don't bring it to me. Because I might take it somewhere, you know? Don't even bring it to me, you know? And I like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm trying to live a peaceful, serene, and happy life, you know what I'm saying? Without the bullshit, you know? Because there's bullshit out there, you know? How somebody that's using, and we should do this, how somebody that's using gonna give you some suggestions on how to get your life together. You know what I'm saying? We in the crack house, you know what I'm saying? And they giving you suggestions about how to get their life, how to get your life together. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. You know? You got to understand, man, you got to understand where your help coming from. You know? And I'm telling you, I mean, I heard this and I believe this, man. On occasions, somebody that's doing worse than you are may be able to give you some suggestions, may be able to help you. You know, on occasions, the bum out there in the street might say something to get your juices flowing. But the majority of the time, man, you got to get help, man. You got to get help from somebody that's above you. You got to get help, man. Hey, man, I'm telling you, like the rappers, right? Man, at one time, I didn't even, years ago, I wasn't even listening to them. You know what I mean? Because I didn't think it was music, And then, I still don't know exactly what it is, but some of these brothers now and sisters are saying some meaningful shit, It's a message to the music. It ain't a whole lot of singing, but it's a message to the music, When I listen to some of the stuff that they say, man, some of the words that they got, you know what I'm saying? And I listened to it now and I was like, damn, because you know why? Since coming into the program, man, I understand I can get a message from anybody if I got an open mind. You know what I'm saying? Got to have an open mind, willingness, that's what they tell us here. You know what I mean? And I get it, man. Sometimes I tell you how me and my wife, my wife used to had to convince me to go to church. Come on, go to church. Come on, go to church. No, I don't want to go to church. You know what I'm saying? Finally, I started going to church. And man, I was getting some messages, man. I thank God that I had enough discernment to process the messages that I was getting. Because like the dude said, man, sometimes they go over your head. I heard the preacher say a lot of times, you'll get it on your way home, And I said the same thing about us being here, man. We'll get a message. We'll get the message on our way home. And the hope is that you get the message, Because, man, if we miss the message, turn around, find ourselves in a situation we don't want to be in, majority of the time it's disastrous. It ain't good, So let's go back out there. We got the women up front. Let's go back. Why you think you here? How did you get here? What was your reasoning and all that?
Like incarcerated?
Yeah.
Because I did put first, put it on the back burner.
Uh-huh.
And once I put that on the back burner,
Wait a minute. Can you repeat that?
I'm here because I did not put my recovery first. Before this incarceration, I had almost 4 years of sobriety. And when I became complacent and put my recovery last and not myself and my recovery first, it led to a relapse.
Yeah.
You feel like a dumbass.
Yeah.
Hate that feeling.
Yeah. And then, I mentioned it, but not in these terms, but you was working a bullshit program.
Eventually,
Yeah, and
Stay vigilant.
yeah. We need something a little better than that. You know what I'm saying? We need something a little better than that, to deal with what we got now. You know what I'm saying? Because we in here now. I don't even know if the drugs been calling you since you've been in here. Huh? Yeah.
Nah, she's good.
So what's the question?
What? Why do you think you're here? What got you here?
Doing things my way. I felt like I had it, I had a control of it, but it just spirals out of control,
What's your first name?
Clovette.
So Clovette's Anonymous is not a solid program.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Anytime we put our name in front of the word anonymous, we're screwed every time.
Yeah.
That's the program that got us here.
yeah,
Yes,
They
my
got us
best
to
thinking got me here.
yeah, yeah. I like that, Clovette. Because it ain't so bad, man. It ain't so bad, We tell ourselves sometimes, man, the message, that we tell ourselves, can't nobody else tell us nothing, And that's because we are not open-minded. I want open-minded, And man, I mean, especially family. I listen to my family, And man, I was like, man, what I've been doing all them years, you know what I'm saying? I've been going my way, you know what I'm saying? And I tell you this, I ain't saying my way is totally wrong, but it can only take you but so far. It'll only take you but so far, And if you continue to stay around here, you can go further than 4 years, But you're gonna have to get some help. You're gonna have to get some help, man. We ain't really built for that. You know what I'm saying? The majority of us. Because I'm telling you, there are some people, and I know they exist. Stop using, put it down, never use again. Stop smoking, put it down, never smoked again.
Those people got willpower.
They got willpower, man.
Addicts don't have willpower.
And yeah, and it's a small percentage of them.
Yes.
Like 5% of them can do that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't drinking no more. That's it. Boom. Put it down. I ain't using no more. There. And done with it.
Let's give them a midterm exam.
Uh-huh.
Now, everybody's got an answer, though. The mic can go right around the room. But seriously, what have you learned since we've been coming in here? You've been listening briefly, like 1 minute or less. What have you learned about the illness, how it intersects with you, and perhaps what you need to do when you walk up out of here? And we'll start with Clovette. What have you learned from us coming in here? In relation to fatal, incurable, progressive illness, or ain't it always the same jail, institutions, and death? And if I ain't chasing my recovery, I'm going to repeat, relapse. Anything you want within a minute. So we get around the room. What have you learned from us?
That I just have to work a program. I can't do it on my own. I've been doing this for a while, and I have to try something different.
So you believe our message?
Yes,
you
yes.
believe our
I
pathway?
never ever had any type of recovery or anything, and I've been doing it for a while. Yes. So now I know that there's hope for me, because I was thinking, like, am I going to just continue to keep doing this? I mean, I don't come to jail all the time, but
Right.
I know that my high, like you said, that high is so much better.
That's right. That's a good answer.
Right.
Go right down the line.
Yeah.
I've learned, again, I have to put my recovery first, because the moment that I don't do that, I'm at risk. I'm going to go back. It might not be tomorrow, might not be next year, but it's going to happen. So I know I need to communicate as well, like keep a sponsor, and ask for help. Even if, like I said, I've been saying this all day because we've been talking. Even if it's the simplest thing that you might think is silly, it's not silly. Just ask for help and stay connected with somebody and support them.
A group of people, they are laughing. It was probably silly, but don't let that stop you from asking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
You got to test them every now and then.
And then, yeah. So far, we got two people that have passed.
Yeah.
Whatever. No, but I've never done recovery before, but just from coming to these meetings and other meetings, that is just no successful way for me to get high.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good, Hip, because you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Once you're an addict,
I mean, at first I thought it was a successful way to do it, but it's just not.
You feel like you can sort of get involved in the recovery community when you leave up?
Yes, this is my first time getting involved in recovery. So I've never been to any meeting outside of here. So this is gonna be my first time leaving here and going to a meeting.
Try to get the sheriff, let us do a field trip, take y'all to a convention or something.
What I've learned is that while I'm locked up, my addiction is waiting outside for me for when I get out of here. Like right now, I don't want anything. That's probably because I can't get anything. So what I need to do when I first get out is go straight to a meeting, get a sponsor, get a home group, do some service work. And that's pretty much it. Work my program.
Let me just add this. Your disease is very active right now in this jail. Your psychic might be going the recovery direction, but your disease is deep inside you. It's doing push-ups right now. And it'll try to trip you up before you get out the door. And it usually will attack your thinking. So it's good that you recognize the disease is waiting for me outside the door. All I'm trying to say, well, it's inside yet. Wherever you go, inside, outside, but you were tracking.
Yeah. Now he did. He hit on a good point. Now what in jail language or whatever, you know, a lot of us, when it's almost time for us to get out, we started getting short time pains. You know what I mean? And then what we mean by that, man, is the little guy that's on our shoulder, he appears, you know, and start talking to us. You know what I'm saying? You know, whatever your home plan is, you know, the little guy on your shoulder got another plan.
Switch it up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so that's why it's important, like he said, to go to a meeting, man. And you know, I've seen people announce it. Man, I just got out of jail. I need some phone numbers. You know?
Want to say a few words before you leave?
Yeah.
There you go. That coming from the expert himself there, man.
Yeah.
He just said more, but it was $500 an hour.
Yeah.
Big man.
All right, what I've learned from myself. Once I learned how to be rid of ego and pride, then I can move forward in life. Like you said last week, knowing thyself is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You can take your mess and turn it into a message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're a good biblical scholar anyway.
Yeah.
What I learned, I just started coming.
Yeah, you were new. You're so new, I don't even know who you are. You got a mask on, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody turned it off. Preacher man.
But yeah, what I learned is when I get out here, I just gotta make better decisions. I was making poor decisions before I came in here, and that's why I was in here. And that's it for
I'll
real.
give you a hint, a clue on how to make better decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Like I surround myself with recovering people that have experience,
Uh-huh.
and I share my mess with them. And they always give me great feedback on how to make a better decision. And I'm really blessed because you met my wife last week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I'm ever in doubt, I just look to her and she can decide for me.
Yeah.
It's always a better decision than I would have made.
And you totally right about that, because you're not the first person. I've been going to Bible study since I've been in here, and Chris been telling me the same thing. Is basically what I got to do is I got to surround myself around people that want the same thing that I want, which is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you mentioned the Bible and Christian. When I hear the Bible, I'm thinking Christian. Well, by and large, if you get up in the middle of that group of people, you're in a safe spot.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, of course, all pathways have cancerous cells and whatnot, but we know what we're doing, who we're running with. So
Yeah.
you keep doing what you're doing, you stay connected to that.
In my Bible study, we read in Acts. I'm sure he knows what Acts is, you know, and that's when Jesus descended, you know, and you know, they were up in the upper room and they were having a meeting because they were establishing the church, you know, Christianity was being established. And like John said, you know, man, you're a good Christian. So we read that, man, because that's knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But I like what I said the other week that I was here, you know, and that's like the question that John put out there. With that knowledge that you got, what do you do with it? How do you apply it? Because what fascinates me is, man, we go down west. You got some brothers down there that can quote scripture. East. They got brothers down there that can quote scripture. You can go to Greenville. Like they are pastors. You know what I'm saying? Only to get out, start doing the same thing again. Make a bad decision. You know what I'm saying? I heard. Not all of them. Yeah. But I heard an individual say the other week, which made good sense. He was like, look, when I was using, I ain't want to hang around nobody that won't use it. You know? He said, now that I'm in recovery, I don't want to hang around nobody that ain't in recovery. Because you know what's going to happen. You know? It's going to be disastrous. I don't care if it's family members. You know? Man, you got to cut them loose, man. I love my brother to death, man, but what he doing ain't about recovery. You know? So we kick it on the telephone and all that. You know what I'm saying? But his hangouts ain't my hangouts. You know? Good deal.
Big Daddy. Speak up so we can all hear you.
I learned a lot. I've been in here since I first started coming to I was never really a big person into the Bible. And I always had these masks, right? I could have been, but today, like, what happened from y'all, like, I just was talking to my man about people with these. You gotta do that. You ain't on the same path I'm on, and that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't that big. You can't hang around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Switch it up. He could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just ain't for me. We're not on the same path. Y'all let me know that long-term recovery is possible.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't never worked no program before like this.
You were talking about like-minded people just then. If we hang out with like-minded people, we'll get like-minded people results. We don't have to put ourselves in a position to hang out with folks that ain't accepting, that ain't like-minded.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 2024, you got a ton of options, man, on communities of connection, of recovery.
Yeah.
Many different pathways, categories, groups. I mean, you're really stepping out at a good time in the history of recovery.
Yeah.
So you got options, but the basic principles, you know, I know you want to be a good man.
Yeah.
Focus on that. What kind of man I really want to be? I want to be a good man. Well, by God, you better hang out with good men then.
Yeah.
You know, and we like money. We folks out here for a while. And, you know,
Yeah.
beautiful relationships. You know, whatever you have you want. But you're gonna get there. The God of understanding ain't gonna do for us and quit. No. God of understanding, it's there for the taking. But what you do matters. What you do count.
Oh yeah.
And we've been coming in here a while, and I think we're getting fabulous.
Oh, yeah. And he said he been here, man. I mean, like, we've been over here now, like, man, it's like a year and a half, you know? And, you know, you get to see, too, you get to see what a commitment is all about, you know? And
I expect an A+ out of this answer.
yeah. We see what a commitment is all
I can
about.
get to you, Ross. I can get to you about. John, I like the sweatshirt too. The sweater, I
Yeah.
like that. Nice and clean.
Yeah.
100% my wife.
Yeah.
I would have never picked it up.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Yeah.
But since I've been here and in this process, right, man, coming in here with y'all, I learned first and foremost that I'm not on that island, right? I'm not by myself in this. And that, what I mean by that is that a lot of feelings that I harbored, I felt like I was the only one going through it. So I was never vulnerable enough to be able to express that or get help or say I even need help, right? So I learned that's one of the first steps in the process. And I also learned that, like I said, I don't have to do it by myself, right? I don't have to go it alone. And once I started learning that and being able to communicate, I realized that the people that I thought didn't have my back or supporting me that was around really was there. I just wasn't utilizing them right? And today I got a good support system and network going on. I have a better understanding of who I am. I love myself today, because my process started before I came to the program. And at that point, I had never opened up an NAAA or any other book, right? But I found that the stuff that I was working on within myself, as we sat in those groups and was going through different stuff, I'm like, damn, now how in the hell we working on that? And I just was applying that, what I'm saying, in my life, whether it was a month or 2 weeks ago or a week ago. But I realized all the steps, I was already working like 7 or 8 of them, right? And I had never opened up the book. So it was like, what may seem kind of like common sense when I got in touch with myself was the program, right? And once I opened up them doors, like these settings is what really helped shape me to be the person that I am today, right? Because it helped me get in touch with who I am. So I realized, like I said, I'm not alone. I don't have to go at it alone. I can be myself and I can have life and longevity because that's what I'm aiming for the most. I never had an opportunity to be out there and really thrive more than say about 2 years, right? And looking at guys like y'all, it's been a long time. And y'all guys have acquired pretty much everything that you pretty much wanted for yourself, right? By doing it one way. So I feel as if long as I can continue this attitude and this mentality and create some longevity, I'm gonna be good. But I do know, right? In this process, I got to realize that I get to acknowledge that I am an addict, right? Now, that don't mean because I haven't shot dope or whatever it was, right, that I'm not an addict because I used to justify it, right? And but I am an addict, and I can acknowledge that today, which helped me in turn learn it and know that there's a lot of things I got to work on, a lot of demons inside that I had to fix, starting uphill, right, to get myself on track. And it's a blessing to be able to come in these circles and be able to figure that out and put myself on track today. That I got enough hope to know that I'm gonna be good. I'm definitely gonna be good with what I got. But I do want to continue this process, no matter how often I, attend a group in that. That's something I definitely want to do, though. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good example also how we really are. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about God, but we got God in it. Sometimes we start working with God, we don't even know it. Then we start reading about it, and there's books written by God. And, we ain't so far off base that we might think we are. So
Yeah.
that's a good hit.
I made it understandable that I like to read, and I started reading a little history, and AA, a 12-step program. That was the first 12-step program, and that started in 1935, right? And what they did, they sat down with the Bible, pen and paper, and started to write steps of the program, So it actually came from, if you read the Bible, and like John said too, there are multiple now. People advocate for multiple ways of recovery, and because everybody's different, man, all individuals and all that, you know what I mean?
But we still all need a connection.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's where the hit comes in.
You're not on the island.
Right.
You can't do it by yourself. You know what I mean? And I always say too, man, we can't regulate ourselves. I don't care who it is, whatever entity it is, you can't regulate yourself. You need some help with it. Because if I regulate myself, most of my decisions are going to be made in my favor. That's why we need help with that, man. You know what I mean? And I understand that. you know, and then talk about like the multiple pathways of recovery. I remember, man, with the 12-step program, you know, what they talked about, man, like medical assisted treatment. And what I have learned is, you know, I don't need to have an opinion about everything, especially shit that I don't know anything about.
They offer y'all MAT. Huh? What do y'all get?
Well, I'll be getting the Vivitrol shot.
Great, that's
Yeah.
the
Before
one.
I leave.
Yeah.
2 shots before I go.
Yeah.
So that
Every 30 days.
What they want to work with for the
Yeah.
most part?
I just had mine
Good
just
girl.
next week. I mean, next month.
Next month.
Every person I know that took Vivitrol for like 2 years, the launch rate is incredible. I mean, it's just something about that. It's got that little craving reducer in there, it's a little insurance policy. It takes opiates off the table for you.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's like, to me,
Well, to tell you the truth, I really didn't want to take it.
no, we don't want to.
Yeah, yeah.
Trust
Because I
me,
didn't feel like I needed it because I've been in here for 2 years.
so long.
Yeah.
So, but I went out because I'm trying to do it a different way. So
There you go. I'm so
I
proud of you.
decided to
I understand.
But think about this.
But I felt like I didn't need it because I really haven't had any cravings since I've been here.
Well, guess what? That, by committing to doing that, and I'm telling you, I'm putting the 2-3 year mark out there.
Yeah.
It makes, it's like a positive affirmation to continue to get it, whether I want it or not, or need it or not. I took interviews for my first 10 and a half months in recovery. And twice during that period, I had the obsession to consume alcohol so bad. I would have done it if it wasn't for that. But each day, it allowed me to do a positive affirmation, and Vivitrol allows you to do the same thing. And you couple it with chasing your pathway and doing the work. 2-3 years go by, you watch me. I guarantee the only thing that's going to come between you and an opiate is going to be that Vivitrol shot. And it might only pop up for 2 minutes. It might be 9 months down the road. I guarantee you, and you're gonna stay clean and do well. You track me down one day, like 5 years from now, when you get ready to do a banquet speak in the meeting.
Yeah.
You say, that's this is right, man.
Now, where I can identify with you is that I got arrested, drug charge. I wanted to go to a program instead of going to jail. They denied that. I did 6.5 years in the penitentiary, and it was stipulated once I'm released to release me to a drug program. You know, I was hot. I was hotter than you are. I mean, I was hot as fire. You know, like what? Then I had to go to a program. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So I was hot as fire.
Well, if you did it on the front end, you forgot all
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
You know?
But also on this Vivitrol piece, let's say you take it for 3 years and to the best of your ability, it never helped, right? Great. So what? You didn't need it. But if it just pops up there once or twice in a 3 year period, it was a good thing you had it, it's worth it. Doesn't cause nothing, there's no side effects. It's to me,
That's why I'm
it's a
taking it.
no-brainer.
Yeah.
What I kind of learned, and this is the reason why I say I do want to attend meetings and stuff moving forward. What I learned and what I say, I really want to attend some meetings, right, to stay on track, to stay connected, because like she said, you're sitting here, you know you don't have no access, so you don't have the cravings to a degree, right? But like I was speaking on earlier, like what my opinion is, it's an association thing. Like if you smoke cigarettes, when you use the bathroom, you smoke a cigarette. After you finish eating, you smoke a cigarette. So like when getting out there in the real world and we have real problems facing us and that stress come or, you know, the difficulties, it's going to be an association thing.
Yeah.
To ease my mind, I need a drink or I need to have. So like, I feel like that's a good reason why she did that. I feel like that's good that she did what she did. Cause it's like you said, the insurance plan, but I know for myself personally speaking, like it's an association thing. So until I get over that hump and learn how to associate things differently, match them up differently with different things instead of a get high or a pleasurable night or whatever it is, just for the get over, like, because those are my addictions. I gotta associate that stuff with different things, more positive things that's gonna keep me on the right track.
Yeah.
But
I also want to add, I'm a NA short, baby. You know what I mean? Clean as they come. Believe it all. But don't let no old timer tell you, well, you don't need to take that. They don't have my experience. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Stick with the plan, you know. Because a lot of purists think, oh, you got God, you don't need it, you know.
Yeah.
Like a devout Christian will say, yeah, just pray to Jesus. You need Jesus, you don't need it. The NA, the AA, what I say is stick with the wizard, man. Just do it. Don't worry about what other people think.
When I started to talking, one of the first things I said was how powerful this stuff is out there in the street. And I'm speaking from personal experiences. Man, you can put this stuff down. Like John said, look, you stay on that for like 3 years. 3 years in a week, the craving comes. And you'd be like, where did that come from? Because there's a psychological component to this stuff, man. Psychological component to the drug thing. Man. I've seen dudes, man, not used for 5 years. He mentioned stress comes up, anxiety comes up, depression comes up, death in the family comes up, some kind of event occurrence, loss of a job comes up. You know what I mean? Financial hardship comes up, and how do we handle that kind of stuff, man? I know a lot of people now, man, problems with anxiety and depression, and it used to be a thing, man. If you was taking medication, NA preachers told abstinence. They had to go back to the drawing table, to the drawing board, and address that. Suppose somebody, man, who I know, I see some young kids, 10 years old, taking medication for anxiety, and I witnessed my neighbor, how that kid changed, Now, suppose he's taking that at 10 years old, he get to be 16, 17, 18 years old, and he started using drugs, So he finds his way in NA. He's already taking this medication for anxiety. He comes in, so he dual diagnosis. What do you do with people like that? That's what I mean. They had to go back to the table. Do you tell them, look, this program can't help you because we complete abstinence. Any drug that you started taking, y'all know this. The doctor will tell you anything that you read, don't stop taking it unless the directions of the doctor, through the instructions of the doctor. You know what I mean? So that's something to look at, man. The picture now ain't like this, man. We got a picture this big. You know what I'm saying? The picture done got bigger. These people now, they done made something, man, that alpha blocker for fentanyl. Shit, killing people, man. You know what I'm saying? Did y'all read the story? John, we got 5 more minutes. Did y'all read the story about the guys? Did y'all read the story about the guys that went to the Kansas City game and they found 3 of them in the backyard? They can't figure out what happened to them, but they were dead in the snow. You know what I mean? The guy that lived there, we don't know what happened. And try to say he done cooked up something in the house and gave it to him, And I still don't know. I don't tell, hey, y'all go outside and do this. Yeah.
Well, there'll be a new story.
Yeah, but it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But
another thing you made me think about with that store, right? Because I know it was kind of an association thing, right? But that's the first thing. Anything crazy happen nowadays, that's the first thing people associate with. Fentanyl.
Oh, yeah.
They be like, oh, fentanyl. I already know what that is, fentanyl.
Yeah.
Because it's taking people down. Yeah, it's taking people out like that.
My daughter called me, man. I said, look, man, she lady that she knows, her son goes to school with my grandson. They know she was an alcoholic. Her and the guy get together and they go to a hotel one night. And the guy pulls out some cocaine. God, I bought a little something, try some of this. She did. They found her in the room next morning, dead as a doornail.
Nothing safe.
I mean, oh yeah, lacing with the weed and all that. You know what I'm saying? We don't never know. But anyway, yeah. Anyway.
I don't know if we'll see it next week or 2 weeks. We'll sort it out though.
Yeah.
Y'all got a bonus week in here.
You said, what'd you say, assorted donuts? What'd you say?
Yeah.
I ain't know. I can't hear about what that was something.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
I know. Hey, because Clevette said they tricked her. They told her they had donuts down here. Man, we're going to get some donuts. Hey, John. Ain't no donut. Where the donuts at? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They got donuts, and that's for real.
They wanted y'all to move fast, you know. But yeah, we're gonna get the donuts.
Okay.
We're gonna get the donuts. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard it from me. Yeah. Hey, John, he said, my man needs some Mucinex for that cough. Yeah. But anyway, man, just keep on learning, man. Keep on learning. You know, this is open your mind up, man. When you come here, you know what I'm saying? It may not be a whole paragraph. You might just pick up a word or a sentence or whatever. You know what I mean? Take that, man. Take that home with you. You know what I'm saying? All right.
More later.
Goodbye.
More later.
Goodbye.